Nice. Alright, Hercules style. Here we go. Go. Let off the brake. Oh, don't stop. Don't push it back. The car runs, I promise. It just needs to feel good. That's all. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be working on something a little bit different. So a couple months back, had a little bit of a fuck up. We'll leave it at that. Anyways, we're going to be removing the bed off my F350, and at the same time, while we have the bed off, it's a good opportunity to do some other preventative maintenance. We're going to just check the fuel filters, not the fuel filters, but the pickup screens. Anyways, I really messed up the tanks. They leak fuel, they don't fill up right anymore, so luckily I was able to source out some parts locally from people parting out trucks. So I have 2 new fuel tanks for it, 2 filler necks that I've acquired throughout the years of collecting Ford parts. So we're going to get this truck in here, start setting up a configuration with the rafters here. We're going to probably try using some pulleys and rope to see if we can't hoist the bed up, and that way we can make it work a little bit easier. So check it out. You know, I always forget how much space this truck takes up in here. It just really fills the garage up. Alright, so we have all of our fancy pants hardware installed. So the idea is we're going to run a rope through the pulley, down to the bed, if I can get the bed in frame, and then try to lift the bed up. So next step is we're going to just take out all the stuff in the back, pull off the bed liner, bring it outside, take the tailgate off to lose some weight. Then undo the tail lights and the filler necks and a couple bed bolts that are underneath the bed liner, so stay tuned. Next we're going to remove the tailgate screen. Show you how it's done. So you lift the tailgate so it's half closed or half open depending on how you look at things. And your tailgate cables are here. If you want to bring the camera around, I can show the viewers how to remove a tailgate, whether it's your own or someone else's. You have this little retaining tab here, you lift that back, or in this case you fucking take it off. That's not supposed to happen, but we'll put that back on. And then walk around to the other side.
You look so red on camera.
I am very sunburnt after today's endeavors. Now that your cables are off, you gotta keep it at this half-closed position because there's a notch that you can lift up on the passenger side. Once you do so, you pull away, and now you can go grab any tailgate you want and put it on your truck, because sometimes you need a tailgate when you don't need it.
Again. Are you Splash Gang?
Undid the 7 mils to take out filler neck here, filler neck. Is it going to focus? Ooh. Filler neck there. Kevin just disconnected some hose clamps that he had holding the filler necks. The wiring's disconnected. Now, bed bolts. Use Bad Bama Damas. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4 or 5.
There's 6. There's supposed to be 6. There's only 4. The lazy lesson I put the bed on.
There you have it, folks. So I'm going to hop up in here with a thingy while he's underneath and show you what's up.
see here, the plan worked out pretty well. We have our pulleys rigged up and our tie-offs as well. We got the bed high enough to where I can just drive the truck forward and get it out of the garage, and then we can set the bed down and then carry it out. Worked out pretty good angle, and as you see, there's a lot of damage on the bed here, but you got filler necks out of the way, taillight wiring harness is out of the way. And that's it. We're gonna lower this thing back down on the ground and cart it out of the way with one of, looks like we're gonna have to do a quick repair first before we do any sort of moving. Alright, so we're back in the shop now. He's got the truck backed in, and so far we're just cleaning out the area around where the fuel sending unit goes in. There's about 8 gallons of fuel in this tank, so we're going to siphon that out, and while that siphons out, we're going to remove the rear tank, which is empty, and swap that out real quick, and then we'll get to this guy next, and that will basically conclude the work for tonight. Unfortunately, due to like a time crunch with this, I would like to and maybe in the future take this bed off again and just power wash all this and just get it cleaned up, but just given the circumstance and time that we have, we just can't do it this time around. But
we've acquired a new shop friend.
Yes, his name is Eric Leapington.
Looks like a leaf. Nice little moth.
Yes, this power is limitless.
Sassy with the baddie. What is wrong with you? We got it on camera, boys. Caught him in 4K lacking.
The 4K lack of sound. So here's how you steal, borrow, acquire fuel from a tank. Or something. You just take your hose and
Wish you had a vacuum in here.
hang out right here. And then you just pull and try not to get it in your mouth because it's bad for you.
Last century.
Alright guys, little update here. Harley just left. It's about 2 in the morning. So far, I'm going to keep burning the midnight oil and just kind of get as far as I can with this tonight. Well, actually, I have an end goal for this and I'm getting pretty close. So let me fill you in. So far, we have the new rear tank installed using the old sending unit put back in. I would have replaced it, or I would have utilized this fuel sending unit if it wasn't for the fact that I don't have the removal clips or the removal tool to take off these fuel lines, and it's a pain in the butt. So far I'm just going to use that. I've never had problems with this this sending unit, and anyways, it reads, it brings fuel to the front of the truck. So coming over to here, a little bit of change of plans. So what my original plan was it was to replace both tanks because of a modification I did to the fuel tanks themselves to increase fuel flow if I wanted to go to larger fuel pumps like at truck stops. And I read up online, I read some forums, so I didn't read them thoroughly. Is where you drill a hole and then you run a separate vent tube up to the filler neck, but I did not go high enough on the filler neck, so what happened was it was just gurgling up diesel fuel and just taking forever to pump. And part of the problem was the internal tube that's inside these filler necks was missing on both of these necks. So luckily I have some extra necks that are fully complete. I was able to plug this hole, just use a PVC threaded cap and Teflon tape. I don't really know how well that's going to hold, but it's better than having a gaping hole where fuel can be pouring out of. And as you can see, it's pretty wet and fuel just from this side leaking out. I'm hoping that this will reduce it, if not stop it. So right now I'm just working on getting things kind of cleaned up at this point. I just need to put all the fuel that I took out of this tank back in it, get this sending unit put back on, get the filler necks put back on, and then clean up the workbench a little bit. We're going to get ready for a trip with this truck tomorrow, actually. We are going to be driving about 2.5 hours up to Maryland. I have made contact with a guy who actually has bed from Florida. It's rust-free, it's dent-free, it's exactly what I've been looking for. We're going to go ahead and drive up there just like this. And so I need everything to be secured. I'm just going to tape the taillights to the truck. We're going to drop the bed onto the truck, bolt it down, and then I'll have a two-tone truck for a little while. So what happened was I backed into a tree, really did a good amount of damage, as you saw from the bed. This bumper here was probably my most favorite thing about the truck. It's an old school drop hitch bumper made by Weston. They're obsolete at this point, and basically this entire wing was like stuffed into the bed, twisted and mangled, and like I did my best that I could to straighten it out. Anyways, let me get back to this. I will fill you in once I get all this buttoned up and give you a quick update. Alright, so it's 4:13 in the morning. Just got everything put back together, everything cleaned up pretty much for the most part. Got some tools set aside. All of my hardware I'm going to be using to attach the new bed. Filler neck screws are in here, taillight screws. Got the taillights just taped to the bumper. This should be pretty sturdy for a short drive. Filler necks put on. If you saw in the last clip, I just had that plug in place. I found some JB Marine Weld and I just went around the edge just to see if maybe that'll help seal it up. But yeah, that's all we got for tonight. Just gonna prep for the trip tomorrow and that's it. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Alright, it is now the next morning, or afternoon I should say. Pretty late night last night. A little bit of change in plans. Gonna be picking up the bed tomorrow afternoon, so this will give me a little bit of time now to take this thing down to the car wash. I'd love to be able to power wash the frame, get it all nice and cleaned up again, now that I can really get in between everything, because it's always kind of a challenge when you're trying to spray underneath and you really only get the top or the side or underneath. You don't get the top or sides too much, so I'm going to take this thing to the car wash right now and stay tuned. Alright, so I just got to the car wash here, got everything cleaned off pretty well, got rid of a lot of grime and crud on the frame, got it back down to basically bare metal, so take the drive home now and grab some paint on the way back, and painted the frame, painted the top of the gas tank. Came out pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with that. E30 BM Dubs. Look at this fine automobile, all classic and original, soon to be an M car. What?
As you can see, we are not in a garage. We're not working on a car. Kevin did not shoot an outro for the video because he thought he would bring the camera when we went and looked at the truck bed. We looked at the truck bed. He really liked it. We got it bolted down. Next time I'm over there, I'll shoot some pictures, upload them so you guys can see what it looks like in the two-tone color. I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's a little bit of a longer one, and I know it wasn't E30 content, but we want to diversify the channel. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys in the next video.